1st of February, Rabbi Levitt, Gemora.
Wow. Yes,
Welcome back.
That was
Just a test, Rabbi.
What?
Just a test.
It was a test, yeah. Wow.
Test of Salanut.
Okay.
Right, Rabbi, I might have to go suddenly if the electricians come back. I expect they came this morning and I expect them to come back soon. So if I leave, it'll be for that reason. I'll tell you in
Don't be
advance.
offended.
Okay. Thank you for telling me, Roy.
Right.
Okay, so we are, if I'm not mistaken, in the middle of a Rashi over here, lo asu v'lo klum.
Yes, that's where my marker is.
So okay, let's pick it up from here. Maybe we want to go from the beginning of the Rashi though, at least to get back into the Gemora over here. So lo asa lo klum. So you want to start off, Luke, please?
Okay. Lo aso below klum. He didn't do anything.
They didn't do anything, right? Asu is lashon rabim, plural. They did not do anything. That they is referring to the ish and the isha who sold the nixei malug.
Right. Right. She'eno lo lezeh v'lo lezeh. That the property is not owned by this one. It's not owned by that one. The im mace echad, that if one of them died, a mayhem, one died of them, zeh ha nishar, this the remaining one, motzi'a miyadei halikochos. This the remaining one will take it from the hand of the buyers. So this is where we were trying to understand. I understand that the husband would be the inheritor, and therefore he could take it from the buyers. But I don't understand how the wife could take it from the buyers.
Okay, so here we're saying that the sale itself was totally null and void, totally ineffective. That's what we mean in the Gemora when we say lo asu v'lo klum. They did absolutely nothing in their attempt to sell this property. So it's as though the property was not sold at all. So therefore, says Rashi, if either the wife or the husband would be nifter, so the remaining one would be able to take from the lekuchos because why? Because that would be the state of affairs. In other words, you want to know.
Why does somebody have to die? Just say they could take it back because it's an invalid sale.
Okay, that's a good question. That's a good question. Don't know the answer to that question either. Okay. So
I'm assuming that it's saying that in the case of death, that is a significant thing that happened that brings upon this ability to take it back. And I don't understand why it brings that ability into existence.
Yeah. Let's see over here. If we could try to figure this out over here. Husband and a wife, they're selling Nixay Maluk. And even if they sell it together as a unit, said Rashi in the previous Rashi.
Right.
Lo asu v'lo klum. Now, perhaps before we start asking questions about why Rashi said the case of, and if one of them dies, we first have to understand the words that Rashi said before that, which we sort of just read and didn't go into it too much. What does this mean? What is Rashi telling us when he's saying, She'enu lo lezeh v'lo lezu? It doesn't belong to this one, it doesn't belong to that one. What do you mean? What does that mean?
I assume it means that it doesn't belong to the husband and it doesn't belong to the wife.
But
Neither of them are the owners of it because if you say, what's the wife's status? The status is she doesn't own the whole thing. What's the husband's status? His status is he doesn't own the whole thing.
So therefore it can never be sold.
I would seem that's right, because it says they haven't done anything. The sale was totally invalid. Look at the previous Rashi. It says ish v'ishta, the man and the woman. It says afilu, even machro shenehem ke'echad. Even if the two of them sold it as one person. Why does it say afilu, even? I think he's leading up to saying even if they both sell it, it still doesn't work.
Right. Because you would have thought to say that we understand that neither one of them owns the entire does not fully own the property, because the wife has the kinyan aguf and the husband has the kinyan aperos. So there's no one that has both the kinyan aguf and the kinyan aperos. So each one of their ownership over the property is not 100%. Fine, but when they sell it together, presumably they would have been able to sell the property like that, because now they're united in their wish to sell this property, and now the kinyan aguf is being sold, and it's also being sold by the one that owns that acquisition in the property. So it wouldn't seem to us to be that there's anything deficient, and yet the Gemora is saying that it doesn't work at all. And Rashi says, why does it not work? Because neither one of them is the sole owner of all of the ownership interests in this property, like we explained.
And if one of them dies,
Yeah.
Maybe we should finish the Rashi and see if it clarifies anything.
Okay.
Velo damo le shutfin, and it's not like the case of partners. De alma de hasam yesh lezeh chelek, that normally or generally that with partners there is to this one a portion bakulo from all of it li tol chazi. What's li tol?
Yesh lezeh chelek b'kuloi litol chatzi. There is a portion to this partner b'kuloi in the entire property of the partnership. Litol, to take chatzi, to take out a portion from the partnership property.
The Chain Lazat, and also to this one. So each one has the ability to identify the half that's his. Aval hacha, but here kulan ke nevin can uyin. All of it is acquired lo laguf to her the goof the hulan kiniyun lo the peros, and all of it is acquired to him the produce. Veleka miyuchad lo lezet velo lezet, and it's not miyuchad means exclusively.
Leka miyuchad lo lezeh velo lezeh. Yeah, if that's what the word means. I don't. Leka miyuchad lo lezeh velo lezeh. Not sure what he. Oh.
I think what he's saying is, in a partnership, you can identify a part and say this is 100% Joe Schmo's, and this other part is 100% Ploni Almoni.
I think that's really the case of the man and the wife. What you just
What
described.
I'm saying is, in the case of the man or the wife, the man owns 100% of the produce, and the woman owns 100% of the goof.
Which is not what's going on over here. Here he's saying that each shutuf owns a portion in every aspect of the property in question.
Right.
In English, you
exclusively.
Say each shutuf, in other words, both of the shutufim, they both own the entire property. It's not divided that this shutuf owns this portion and that shutuf owns that portion. It's each one of them has his portion over every part of the property, which is not the case with the Isha and the Baal. The Baal only has the Kinyan Peros. The Isha only has the Kinyan Guf. She does not have the Kinyan Peros. And so that's the difference between the Isha and the Baal selling and the Shutfim selling. Oh, so that's what he means. Leka miyuchad lo v'lo lezeh. There's nothing that is miyuchad to this shutif or to that shutif. Meaning, there's no part of the property which shutif number one can say, "Oh, that is only mine. You don't have any part of that part of the partnership property. I'm the only one that has part of that property." There's no such thing when it comes to shutifim da alma, an ordinary case of shutif. The nature of shutifim is that they are partners, they're co-owners and equally in the entire property. There's no part of the property where shutif number one says, "This is mine and not yours," and the other shutif says, "Yes, and that other part over there is mine and it's not yours." That's what Rashi means here when he says leka miyuchad. There's nothing specific or exclusively owned, lo lezeh v'lo lezeh, not to this one and not to that one.
But Rabbi, I think that this phrase leka miyuchad lo lezeh v'lo lezeh, it doesn't apply to the shutfin. It applies to the husband and wife.
No, I don't think so. No, he's been talking about the case of the shutfin.
When it says aval chacha, but here, what does that mean? I think it means but here in the case of the husband and wife. No?
Okay, I hear. 1 second. Hasam over there. Yesh lezeh chelik b'kuloi, lito chetzi v'kein lezeh. Avachacha here, in the case of the ish v'isha, kulan kanuyin lo, v'kulan kanuyin lo, the peris. In the case of the ish v'isha, kulan kanuyin lo leguf. All the property over here is acquired to her as far as the goof of that property is concerned. The kulan kanuyin lo, and all of the property is acquired to him, the husband, for the perus. Leka miyuchad lo lezeh v'lo lezeh. Yeah, you're right. It's going on the case of the husband and the wife.
So I still have the question. I don't understand why the mace factor is thrown in here. It doesn't seem relevant.
Mm-hmm. Okay, just a second over here. Oh, also a little klum. Wow, this is difficult. This is really difficult. Okay, so let's take a look. Tosfos over here. The bottom Tosfos on the page is bringing the words of Rashi. He brought all the words of Rashi, and then he's going to add a couple lines of his own. It seems that he's not arguing with Rashi. He's He's going to expound a little bit upon Rashi as it goes to refer to the other cases that the Gemora has mentioned over here. So we don't really need to read the words that he says. You see where I'm talking? Ish be'isha shemokru b'nitzei malu. The bottom Tosfos.
Yes, I see it.
So the first thing Tosfos does basically is he brings word for word the words of Rashi. Pirish b'kuntris. Kuntris is Rashi. The Kuntris is the notebook. That was the notebook that was in the yeshivas. Was the Pirish of Rashi. So Rashi explained what he explained, and he doesn't explain Rashi's words. He just quotes them word for word, and then in the third line of the text, he says at the beginning of the line, he says "Ube'inyan zeh." And now, in regard to this matter, that Rashi has distinguished between the two cases over here, between the man and the wife and their Niksei Maluk property and the property of Shutfim Ba'alma, Tosfos takes it a step further. Binyan Zeh Yesh Loimar, there is to say, Eved Shel Shnei Shutfim, the Besamuch. We have a case that the Gemora is going to mention in the next couple lines before the Mishnah here, at the bottom of our page. If you have an Eved who is owned by two partners, and the nature of the partnership is, I believe, not the type of partnership that Rashi was describing. Rashi said Shutfin de Alma. Here he says,
What was this word? What was this word? To be smooth.
The Besama. That's further on in the Gemora.
Thank
you. In other words, this is This is the Brisa, the last 5 lines before the Mishnah.
Okay, gotcha.
That's where I believe these cases are mentioned. Okay, so we have a number of cases over here to examine. So Tosfos says over here, Evet shel shnei shutfim, the besamach, l'zeh haguf, l'zeh perus. One shutf has the guf completely, and the other shutf has the perus completely. So I would say that that's not the nature of the shutfis that Rashi described us when he said shutfin da alma.
Right.
Okay, so there, the Chetzav Eved, the Chetzav Ben Chorin, Nami, and also the case of an Eved who a portion of him is Eved and a portion of him is Ben Nami.
What's chorin mean?
Ben Chorin means he's a free man. Ben Chorin.
Oh, half is a slave and half is free?
Yeah. And if you wonder how could it be that there's such a Eved like that, Tosfos says, Kigon, for example, in the following scenario, Shenosan loy, kol domov, ve'ein me'ukav, eleget shichror. Lios mutter b'bas chorim. Tosfos says an example of this would be where the owner of the Eved Look,
The owner did what?
the owner gave to him, to the Eved, Kol Damov, the entire amount that the Eved is worth. The Ein Me'ukav Ela Get Shikra. And he only held back the giving of a document of emancipation.
Mu'ukav means to hold back?
Yeah. Leos Mutta Baskorin. Okay. So now all we've succeeded in doing, I think, is further complicating a unclear situation. Not sure exactly what Tosus is. All he's doing really is saying he's adding a couple cases that are comparable to the cases that Rashi mentioned over here, and it's not really helping us too very much at all to maybe understand what Rashi is saying. Well, I guess we'll leave that.
I guess we have to go look at that case, right? To see what happens in the case where we have an Eved that's owned. One partner owns the goof, one partner owns the perus. What is the halacha over there? Because that would be comparable to the husband and wife.
That would be comparable. Seems to be comparable, yeah. Okay. You want to do that? You have a Chaf Gimel. After the word, after the last word in Tosfos, Chorin.
I
have one. I have one. It sends us to Thoras to take a look in a Tosfos in Bava Basra. Oh boy.
Basra.
Bava Basra, yeah. Yeah.
Well, we're not going to have time to get very far.
Yeah. Oh, what time is it? Oh, it's already 12:26.
We only got 3 minutes.
Okay.
Chaf Gimel what?
What's that?
Chaf Gimel what?
Bava Basra.
Yeah.
It's the Tosfos Bava Basra 50b, Dibra Maskell Rebbe Elazar. These last two Tosos seem concern that Tosos over there. Yeah, okay, so we got into a whole discussion over here. One thing is it's a very good
Hello?
that what?
You're here?
Yeah.
That's Roy talking to his electrician.
Oh, okay, fine. Yeah, it seems to be very clear from this Rashi that the reason why Rashi is mentioning this case that if one of the the husband or the wife away, and the one that is remaining will take it out from the lekuchos, we could say that it would seem that Rashi understands that if they would both remain alive, the husband and the wife, so then they would not be able to take it out from the lekuchos. And
Right.
this, in spite of the fact that the Gemora says on this case, lo asav lo klum, they did not accomplish anything in this sale that they sold it. So this is a point of discussion, and one of the commentators on the Gemora explains that what Rashi is referring to is that what would be if both the husband and the wife remained alive is that it's not exactly like the Gemara says that the Mechira would have accomplished nothing whatsoever, but it would have been a Mechira, it would have been a sale in regard to the payros of the Nixay Malug.
Right.
Somehow that would be, so in other words, when they're both married and they're going to sell to the Lokeach, and the husband is also participating in this sale. So he's selling his portion. He's selling his portion of the right to the profits of the property to this Lokeach. And as long as both of them remain alive, that would be effective. The sale of the profits of the property would go to the Lokeach. It's just that, and for some reason, that when one of them passes away, so then somehow that for some reason, which we don't know right now, but for some reason, the sale that was until that time effective is now for some reason nullified, and the surviving spouse can now take the profits from the one that bought them. But what the Gemara means when it says lo asu lo klum means in regard to the goof of the property. In regard to the goof of the property. The goof of the property was not able to be sold at all. And the Lokeach never got any part of the goof of the property. And why that is, and that's really what's behind the discussion of Rashi, to explain why it is that part was not sold. So that remains to be seen. We need further research. Okay.
Have a great day.
Okay, take care. Be
Chodesh
well.
Tov to everybody.
Right, Chodesh Tov. Thank you.
Start off your month with Simcha. Chodesh Adar.
Amen. Amen.
Okay.
Atzlacha Rabba Roy.
Thank you.
Welcome, Rabbi Roy, with the electrician.
Thank
Hope he
you.
does a good job.
So do I. And I hope he lowers his price.
Oh, yeah. All
Okay.
right.
Let's not go too far, Roy. You got to be realistic.
I am.
He could have me talking, though.
Yeah, I've got the token, but I don't think he's got the token. It doesn't matter. Anyway, we'll do whatever he does. We'll accept because we need it. So bye for now.
Give him the phone number for the Bitachon hotline.
Right.